We're spending the weekend out here at our vacation property. We're having a treehouse cabin built. Figured I'd bring the little mini skid down here and try to do some projects out here. We've got this shale driveway. We've got a whole bunch of shale. I'm gonna try the land leveler on it. I brought the 4-in-1 bucket and I brought the brush cutter to work on cutting some trails in the woods. So let's get this thing unloaded and see what it can do. I have some jobs coming up that I'm going to need to dig some trenches. So I got the trencher. And I just wanted to see if the trencher worked. I mean, tell me this thing doesn't look cool. This is a pretty wicked looking toy. So I got the trencher and I want to try it. And I didn't want to test it out at home, just in my little subdivision yard. I want to test it out here in the woods. So we just cleared all this within the last couple of years. This was just dense forest, just like behind me. I want to see if this thing could cut through roots. Could this go trench through the woods? Because my plan is we have our electrical panel over here, and I want to dig a trench way back through these trees, and we want to move our camper back in there. When we have an Airbnb cabin we're building, and I want our camper out of the way. So we're going to stick it back through the woods, but I need to trench a line way out through the woods for water and electric. And can this do it? And unbelievably, it can. Let me show you this trench. So I started off a little shallow, but check this out. I mean, that's a pretty deep trench there. And some of these roots, like see these roots it's tearing through? It's just ripping through some of these, just throwing chunks of roots in the air. So as it's going through, see these chunks of roots it's been throwing? That's wild. I really didn't expect it to work that well. And look at that beautiful pile that auger puts off to the side. So I'm gonna say, initial test of the trencher, this is a win. This is definitely a win. Let me show you how far in the ground this trench goes. That's not bad. That's pretty solid. The whole trencher chain is pretty much underground. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. I could go a little bit deeper. I don't need to. I just wanted to make sure it would go through these roots. So like I said, trencher, small roots, win. Now, with the roots, you kind of have to go slow as it's coming up to the roots. It's wanting to get caught on them, so you have to go really slow. Otherwise, you could stall it out, and you have to turn the engine RPM up all the way. Without the engine RPM up all the way, it can get stall, and you just have to move the tractions really slow. For what I was doing, I was just bumping them just a little bit every few seconds, and it would just slowly come back. The next attachment I want to try out is the brush cutter out here, out in the woods a little bit. But I had it leaning up on this front rail, it fell off. So with it falling off, I can't pick it up, it's so heavy. So I'm gonna bring the machine around here, lift it up, set it back on this rail and try to hook up to it. Because man, that thing's heavy. That is a heavy piece of steel. Maybe it's because I'm new to this, I don't know. But I find it really intimidating to drive that machine up on the trailer and back off. So I'm gonna go put the trencher back on the trailer, and I'm gonna try to get the brush cutter off of the trailer. Wish me luck. Couple tricks I learned. If you like your trailer looking nice, lay some wood under this. Once it's down, you can turn your pins. You want to release the pressure from everything. You unhook the fittings. Now, I know I need to release these. So what I've been doing is I've been holding them a few seconds, either direction, and they should pop off. Then you pull, put your cap back on. The next one pops off, cap back on. Put your caps on both of these. And then tilt down. To be able to strap this down, what I did is I put a 2x2 in here, and then I can run a strap over this and not worry about messing up my strap. So these lines, they just come through here to keep them out of the way. You can tuck them down in between here. And now they're safe. And then when you run your strap, you just run it on this board so it's not on the actual chain or the teeth. So next attachment I'm going to play with is my brush cutter. I want to clear a little bit of the woods back here in our old swampy area, as we call it, which I used my mini excavator last year. I dug a trench, drained the little swamp, and now it's overgrown with a bunch of random stuff. So I'm going to go back there and clear it with this and see how that works. Let's get it hooked up. There it goes. Snappity snap. It's not really a good thing. I popped a track off. Not really happy about that. I guess it's my own fault the way I was turning out here in this muck. But yeah, I need to get this track back on somehow. So my thoughts are, got this little bottle jack it up off the ground, get that track back on there as best I can, turn it on and rotate it to try to get it back on the sprocket here on the drive motor. That's my thought. Don't know if it'll work. I don't have room for the jack underneath. The track looks okay. I think what I need to do is loosen this track tension. Need to go get some tools. So I just tested the brush cutter, as you all saw, and I wanted to clear this area out and through the woods a little bit because this is going to be our new camper spot. So I'm going to use the trencher, come through the woods, and then we're going to bring in some more shale, which I'll use the bucket and the land leveler for that, and I'll bring more shale in here. We're going to build this up and park our camper back here, and then we'll have electric and water that I'll trench over here. But I just kind of knocked all this stuff down. We're also going to pick up a bunch of these rocks and use them on a trail over here. I used my mini excavator last year and dug this ditch, which helps this drain. So anyway, yeah, that thing's pretty awesome. That push bar on the front running into dead trees just snaps them off. And those cutting blades, man, they do some damage. Actually, let's take a look at the cutting blades, see how they held up. There's a few little nicks, probably from the rocks. Ow! Yeah, be careful of these things. Yeah, there's some little nicks in them. But I can sharpen that right back up. These, man, they did remarkably well. I'm impressed. Yeah, that's cool. I don't see anything. There's a few bumps on this. Let me show you. On this push bar, just some little scratches from pushing on those trees, but man, I can wash that off and it'll pretty much look brand new still. Yep, so far this seems like it's a great buy if you need a tool like that, which I can always find an excuse to use a tool. So 2 thumbs up from me. So I've got everything loaded up now. Time to strap it down. Done with my testing and playing with attachments out here at Billy Creek for the weekend. And it's time to go back home. So we're gonna haul this stuff back another 3.5 hours back to home. As I'm learning this stuff, hopefully it helps you guys learn some stuff too. I couldn't find any information on this machine. I can't find much anything on these Chinese attachments. I mean, I see some people have them. I've not seen any videos on how they work and longevity of them and how well they work and how they work in different conditions. So hopefully some of these videos on these things help you out. We're gonna do the stump grinder. What do we think? The auger. I'm gonna do some more stuff with this trencher because it worked really well out here. I really want to trench a real trench, not just a test trench, and see how it really does. So anyway, oh, the 4-in-1 bucket's coming up too. I'm an idiot and I broke my 4-in-1 bucket. I kind of rammed my land leveler into one of the fittings and I broke the fitting. I've got another one at home. Durette sent me a whole bunch of spare parts, so I actually have spare lines and I can fix that at home, but I couldn't use it here. I plan to pick up a bunch of rocks, use the grapple part of the 4-in-1 bucket. Oh yeah, and I have a grapple. So we're gonna see how well that grapple works out here too on some big stuff and how much weight it can pick up. So stay tuned. Thanks so much for watching the video. Hopefully it helped you out. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Besides that, enjoy your time in the trees. I know I do. Testing, testing. Mic, 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 mic.